would like to request Swag to come onto the stage. Please welcome.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks. Swag. Okay. Okay, ma. Morning. We are Team Swag. Yep, this is our team. So bringing you to our solution, which might help, we are aiming to empower B40 individuals by enhancing the rules of income tax.
Our team aims to tackle 3 SDG goals within this one solution. So, picture a vast pool of B40 population in Malaysia. They are locked out from the opportunities of the job market and also the riches of education. This is not just a problem, it's a call to action. As we stand, a staggering 3.16 million of Malaysia households are eagerly waiting for a rescue. As so, My Help is targeting 2 distinct yet interconnected customer segments, the CSR cautious investors and also B40 individuals. So, imagine that all of these 1.5 million companies can deduct a 10% of their income tax just by making donations. The life of the B40 community can be improved. Meet Ben, an entrepreneur in Malaysia. His company is struggling to obtain sufficient income tax deductions. Ben has also realized that the company is facing a lack of skilled workers. The company's brand reputation is also at risk, as the company has provided limited social impact. In fact, by contributing cash donations to LHDN-approved institutions, your company qualifies for a remarkable 10% of income tax deduction. So, imagine that Ben's company earns around 1 million revenue. He could have saved up to 100K for income tax. Hence, presenting to you My Help, your all-in-one solution to a better life.
On the company's end, they can work on CSR through packages that comes with swagging perks, and so following on to boosting the effort that they done through of this CSR, we have a leaderboard for them to track the impacts. And moving forwards to the B40 end. Okay, I think that's a slight delay. Okay, right. So our platform empowers them to have it through self-learning to job securing with all of the provided things is courses, next, assessments, next. So basically training, scholarship, job opportunity, and so company insights, and also more. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, resource and incentives. So here we have a book where we will have it delivered as well. So book delivery, and so they can apply for grant through our platform at the same time. Okay, to support a low literacy level, we also have Gen AI write-ups where the B40 individuals can use it for content generation, especially when they are working on application. Okay, right. And the last row of the whole application is government end. So we have a dashboard for them that shows the analysis on the financial stress in terms of the geographical locations and also factors where efficient resource allocation can be made accordingly. And the last one, which is real-time poverty rate adjustment that can be done through predictions. Yep.
Our business model generates revenue from CSR investors who purchase sponsorship plans and receive a 10% tax deduction in return. And we will then collaborate with NGOs such as Brahmam in exchange for connections and exposure. And B40 will enjoy our services with the token credit, which is sponsored by the CSR investors. For the competitor analysis, My Help ticks off all the necessary traits which require to combat all the issues mentioned. Not to forget our monthly sponsorship plan, which can tailor to different companies' needs. For a corporation, what is better than saving a tax while performing CSR initiative? Here's the breakdown of the survey that we have conducted. As you can see, the market interest is high and the demand is undeniable. To test the solution, firstly, we implement A/B testing for different versions of MyHelp. Then, it's questionnaire using Google Form. Lastly, we conducted phone survey with the companies where we had internships before and reached out to the Pusat Khidmat Rakyat Parlimen Puchong to gather their opinions on our solution. All these efforts form part of an iterative process leading up to the final submission to Kitahack. So we have compiled the top 3 feedback points for each user mood. For B40, the most frequent feedback gathered is about their literacy level. Hence, we have made improvement by implementing Gen AI write-up. And for companies, they lack public recognition of their charity contribution. Hence, after conducting interview, we implemented sponsorship leaderboard. And lastly, from government side, their concern is that poverty factors and the criteria defining B40 group should not remain static. There should be dynamic, real-time. Hence, we implemented prediction models for poverty prediction.
Moving on to the, I think it's the exciting part. So this is our solution architecture, where we use, you can see a lot of Google technologies here. We use Angular Ionic for the front end, where Flask serves as the back end that connect to the prediction the models that we built with Keras and TensorFlow, where Gemini API is the one that works on the Gen AI part, and GCP has, we use it for multiple use cases at the same time. Google Workspace, integration through Google Workspace, Google Maps platform, and so Firebase is done as well. So how is it scalable, right? Okay, Gemini API, we can upgrade it to Gemini Pro or Gemini Pro Vision, which is scalable in a sense of the Gen AI part. And also Google Workspace, we can swap it to enterprise plan when we have resource, right? And so GCP, Firebase, pay as you go. So you can scale it up whenever it needs to be. Okay, you might wonder how does our prediction model being done? Okay. So we are using a data source of the household income, poverty, and household expenditure Malaysia 2023. That's the data set name, it's very long. And so we figured out that extra 3 regression model is working the best for our prediction model. And this is the selected features that we have been used eventually.
Yeah, and these are the solution scaling strategies. So we plan to partner with NGOs such as Pernaman and PECWA to organize community outreach programs. And on your right side, our blueprint for success in conversion and retention game is ready to be implemented as well. And the world can be very well impacted by MyHelp. So from the business perspective, the product helps in enhancing brand reputation. And as 77% of consumers prefers to purchase products from companies with CSR initiatives. And CSR initiatives are the driving force for social change, and job creation are at the heart of this change. As we done our research, we've shown that 6 out of 100 of Malaysians could not afford basic needs. Having a decent amount of job opportunities is also essential, as a 1% increase in income inequality will lower down the country's GDP by 1.1%. So, we need your investment to turn this into a reality. And that concludes our pitching. A rising tide lifts all boats, but not everyone has a boat. So, rise together with us. Thank you.
And here comes our appendix with some research and extra supporting document for our proposed solution. Firstly, our cost model. Our revenue model, finance summary report, 5 years growth projection, and the summary of our core solution. And our target market will be focusing on the top 6 states. Our target market will be focusing on the top 6 states that are driving Malaysia's GDP and reviewing the potential market value. We are operating in a massive market with a total addressable market of 333.34 million, representing the total companies in the world which are in need of tax deduction. And lastly, based on LHDN, attached is our country's maximum tax deduction limit for charitable activities. Thank you.
All right, judges, you may begin your 5-minute Q&A session.
Hi. My question is related back to your problem statement. Your problem statement is basically restricted access to education resource and challenges in accessing job markets. So basically it's like a limited privilege for the B40, right, on the education side. What make your solutions different from whatever there in the market? Like Google stuff, they're giving free training, free certification. There's a lot of other players are doing similar kind of things. And from your unique selling point, there's so many things being done outside. And what is the difference with you guys and them? And how you're planning to bring this platform, your upskilling the B40 using your platform, and I mean basically bringing the target audience to your platform. How are you planning to do that?
Okay, so to address the first one is on the things where a lot of people is doing it, right? But the thing here is that our main aim is more on the CSR end. And of course, educational is something that is supporting our whole solution at the same time. Just that what I have in mind is more on our solution is all-in-one, right? And for B40, they don't really have access to all of the resource when everything is like splitted out all over the place. So with our solution, they can have everything on our place at the same time. So in that sense, it's more like companies can join because they are interested to like lower down their income tax and so on, where government adds in as a support where they can kind of see how does the real-time and the prediction works, where they can kind of allocate the resource according to what factors that actually affect more. Yeah.
And actually, we are targeting for the B40 with the lower literacy level. So actually, our system is developed like more towards using more icon based instead of words like that, as we have a different target audience.
Sorry, is there any demo that you can show us your apps? We are not really being seen.
Yeah, so basically our app is already deployed, just that the reason why you can see the rows here is just for us to easier to change it when you want to see other rows. So eventually in the B40 that I kind of explained just now, it has a lot of videos that running behind, right? So eventually they have books where they can check out the available books that they wanted to like have it delivered to their house, and also they can check on the learning where the courses is available, and also of course they can check in and assessments. And through assessment, right, once they done it, they can get a badge at the same time to prove that they are kind of dedicated in learning. And apply here, okay? So they can apply for grant and also scholarships, right? And jobs, where they can see the job listing and the companies available. Okay, so, right up, yep. So AI right up is here, generate. So let's say I want to have, can you help me hope? So right, sorry, I'm not very familiar to this laptop. Right, resume to apply for, sorry, I can see, software engineer's job at Google. So you can click on generate. Yeah, we need to wait. It should shows down there, but
okay, let's. Okay, perfect.
yeah, there you go.
Okay, very good. What is your main use case? What is your main problem or solution that you are doing?
Okay, our main use case is more on we want to empower the B40 individuals, where they can empower themselves through all of the resource that we have here until they get a job. So as of you see in the jobs there, right, all of the jobs is posted by the companies that is part of the program, where they can put like specific resources that they need, like the skills that they need for the specific jobs that they want to apply, then they can upskill there. And also the company end.
And from the company end, actually many companies still do not know that if they are donating to these charity activities, they can enjoy an extra 10% income tax deduction.
So basically,
Time's up.
to support the B40 group, the companies will be subscribing to one of these payment plans, and in order for them to do it, they will also get 10% income tax deduction.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a very simple use case. But is there a representation of this use case in the technical demo?
You mean for the company end?
Yes.
Okay. I can just show a glimpse because they are rushing, right? So basically, I changed to a company, okay, and then, okay. So now it's company end. So let's say if they want to sponsor, they can write in here. They can see what is the initiative that they support, and eventually these are the packages that they can go with if they want to go for package. So let's say they sponsor. Eventually, there's some forms that they need to fill up and also pay through the things, and yeah, that's basically the idea.
And for government side, we also built our platform already.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the time is up. Thank you very much, Team Swag. Please give them a round of applause. Now, we would like to request Team Open Source to come on the stage. Please welcome. You may start whenever you are ready.
Okay.
All right. Good morning to all judges and participants. So we are from Team Open Source. And next slide. Okay. So in this picture, actually we can see that there is an employee from a local SME company that is named as Weng Hong. As a non-technical user, he is really frustrated because he don't have any prior knowledge on the data retrieval skill. For example, like data to access to the database. So due to the employee lacks of a technical skill, the companies need to hire data analysts or system analysts in order to solve this database task. So this is a problem locally. Now we look at the greater picture to the worldwide side. And now, in the worldwide, there actually 47% of digital workers struggle to find the information or data, need to effectively perform their tasks. So actually, for example, like non-technical users are struggle to query due to the lack of the technical expertise, and also time-consuming data retrieval and the limited user accessibility. So in here, it raises a question: how can we use the AI to simplify the data access and enhance the user experience? So imagine a world where every employee could instantly unlock the secret hidden within your company data. So let me introduce you open source, a database management system with a chatbot integrations. So actually our solution provides some of the service. For example, first of all, will be efficiency, small database management system. And secondly is a database chatbot, which is beneficial from a custom-trained chatbot designed for exclusive for the user database. And the next one is we actually tailored the database solutions for the industry, which will receive a database management system that is custom-built for the addresser user-specific needs. So for next slide. So actually our solution also align and tackle for the SDG. For example, like SDG number 9 for the target 9.4 and number 5. Another one is for the tackle for the SDG number 8, target for 8.3. So for next one, now we are moving for our demo parts. So in here, actually that we can choose the CSV file that we desire to upload to our database. And then in here, we can rename it a collection and then save it up. And then after that, it will show a successful pop-up window that we already saved our database. And then we go back to our show the collections of the database and refresh it. And it will show that this is actually newly added to our collections. So actually another part of the demo is show that how we integrate with our chatbot. So in here, actually, so whenever we ask the chatbot about the quality, the quantity, the location, or the detailed information about the product, actually can give us the accurate information. However, if we ask a product that is not exist in our database, it will show that no data is found in our database. Yeah, these are the things that the demo for our chatbot. So the next one is I will talk about the tech stack that we use for our project. So for this, the front end, we're actually using React.js and Tailwind CSS. For back end, we're actually using the Django and also the Express.js. And for our integration tool, we're actually using the PALM model, which through the Gemini API, for example, like text model and also embedding model. For our database, we're actually using the Firebase and also the Python to store the embedding data. So for the next one. So for our system architecture, we actually have two main flow in our system architecture. For the first one is when we upload data to the client website or manually add the record to the Firebase, actually we are convert them into a JSON file and then store in the Firebase. So whenever we actually store the data in the Firebase, we're actually using the validate the data storing process using the JWT authentications for the security purpose. So for the next one, after that, we're actually using the PALM model, the embedding model, to convert all the JSON file into the embeddings and then store in our vector database, which is Python. So for our next flow is actually how is we interact with our chatbot. So whenever the user prompt a query to the chatbot, and the embedding model will change, will convert the query, the user input into the embeddings, and then we perform the similarity search in the Python. And then the Python will return us the output with the highest matching score to the PALM, to the text model. But at the same time, whenever the user prompt and input, all the text model is going to return an output. All of these things will be stored in our Firebase as our text history. And based on the text history, actually our text model will improvise the output that is going to generate for the user before, and then it will further improvise, and then we generate a better outcome for the user to enhance the user experience. So for next one, we actually for our scalability, since actually we are using the Gemini API, Firebase, and also the Python, and each of these actually have provided some of the plans for the user to choose from according to their requirements. For example, like the Firebase actually have the base plan, and Gemini API have the Gemini Pro, and also the Python has the enterprise plan. So actually all of these, of course, are paid based on your usage. So for next one, and this is the feedback that we get from actually for we testing our product. So for the first one is our interface is actually quite less intuitive and visually unattractive. So for this case, we're actually using the Tailwind CSS integration to improve our UI. So for the next one is we noticed that there is some noise in our Firebase data with inconsistent CSV file format. So to deal with this, we actually using the data cleaning process, which introduced to standardize our CSV file format. And the next one is we also found that the delay in data processing when interacting with the web app. So we try to optimize the system flow to ensure the smoother communication between the front-end part, model, and also the database layer. So for the next one, so for these are the impact that we actually create for our model. So the first one is to streamline and automate the inventory management, where the threshold-based stock tracking and replenishment allow the precise in the order fulfillments, which means it's no more it will be an error-free inventory control for the user. And next one is our quick data retrieval with instant response. So this is used to maximize the efficiency by streamlining the data access. This will be saving time and maximize the efficiency of the user. So for the next one is our product is also emphasized on accessibility for everyone, so that we're actually removing the technical barrier, especially for those non-technical users. For example, like those who are doing the business, they don't know how to use the SQL, right? So this actually are helping them to emphasize their efficiency and also make their work even better. So the next slide. Okay, so our model also aligns with the ESG pillar. For example, the first of all, our solution is dedicated to minimize the impact on the ESG pillar, which is the first one is environment, through the document digitalizations, reduce the carbon footprint, and also effective resources utilizations. For the next one is our model also designed to make a positive impact on the social, which we're striving to make the solutions accessibility for everyone, and also especially empowering the non-technical user and also enhance the user experience. For the last one, our commitment to a strong governance is vital for building the trust and ensuring that ethical building practice, for instance, compliance with the accessibility standard like WCAG, compliance with Malaysia PDPA for the data privacy, and also the last one, ensuring transparency, data security, and user concerns. For next one is our future plan. So actually, we are planning to have the chatbot extension for large enterprise, enhance the update and delete feature in our system, automate the web and file scraping for the data entry, and also the data visualization and predictive analytics. Last but not least, security mechanism is important for implementation and the data security in the future. And yes, before we ending this, actually what we want to emphasize is our open source leverage the generative AI to revolute the data management for the business. Our goal is to push the boundary of the generative AI, not only used in the normal way, but also making database operations more accessible by reducing the entry-level requirement. Just like ChatGPT, it simplifies the developer when doing the developments and also enhance the student learning experience. Open source aims to do so by offering a user-friendly experience for the public and storing, retrieving, and also querying the data, providing an intuitive process with a lower learning curve. That's all for us. Thank you.
Testing. The judges, you may start your Q&A session whenever you are ready.
Hello. It's a very simple solution, and that's the beauty of it. So wonderful. It's a very good solution. But you have described two different user groups. Number one is the user who would like to sort of use the bot on the data to ask questions. And then you said another use case could be the user group which could be business related, maybe sales related, right? I think it's just a suggestion. You need to focus on the first group because the other part, they already have the dashboards. So one cool thing that you can add in your future plans is to come up with a dashboard because you already have the data of the company inside the enterprise. Using the Palm 2, you can come up with what kind of dashboard, of completely variety of dashboard that you can show to them with their own data.
Is it this kind of dashboard that you mentioned it? Wait. Sorry.
Where is it? You mean the list?
Sorry?
So you mean like in our future plan is I recommended to add some like analytics using the data for the dashboard
so extract the analytics and start with that.
Okay.
Otherwise you are building for a very niche market which is a developer focused market and they like to do SQL.
Okay.
They don't like to write the question.
Okay.
Their SQL is way faster than writing the question. Okay, but I come to the main question. Why did you choose to start importing from the CSV?
Okay, so based on our research, we found that the data transactions from all the business, they have their daily transactions in the CSV file. So we feel that this is more generalized to public, and this is exposed to more market, so they can actually use it without have to change the way they store their data normally.
Okay. But there's a lot of other ways. Maybe you can also keep exploring on that, okay?
Yes,
Thanks.
Hi. The problem statement, I'll come back to the problem statement again. The problem statement is the employee don't have access to the data, correct? Yeah. So there's two parts of it. Number one is as corporate companies, right, the data sit everywhere. Some data is like pure in paper form, in manual way, and some data that we don't have access to it due to limitations and different department, different units and everything on. So what you have come out with the solution is basically you already get the data and you already put it in the AI so that everyone can access it. So before you even go to that, you need to look into the area where digitizing it. One way that I saw is by documentation. Basically, you're making everything all the documents to become in Grab. But that is not only one way. You need to address so many issues, like different relationship with the department, how you want to get the data, and how you want to, manage the data, structure the data. You have to go through quite a lot of process before even you make the data structured and pump the data into your DB where the AI can talk. So that part does not solve your problem. I don't see that much, except the one part which is digitizing the documents. So that's, you still need to look into your solution. It's end to end, right? It's not just one part of it. Second, my question is security. Whenever you talk about data, security touch every single pillar of it. What kind of security measures that you are taking? Of course, the security that coming from the solution itself, it is one part. But in your entire journey, what a kind of a security measure you are taking to make sure the data is secure? Because it's company data, right? Yep.
All right, so I will answer your first question first. So your first question was, how do you actually centralize the data from all across the parts, including those physical documentations and also the digital data from all across different departments from your corporate, from your company, right? So actually, we plan to implement the Vision AI from the Google Cloud platform, which can actually scan the physical documents of it, and then we actually scrape the data, and then we pipe the data into it. So this platform will act as a centralized site to gather all the data from all across the corporate, from the different departments, and also from the physical document for the documentations. Yeah, but that is our future. That will be put in our future plans. So regarding your second question is about data security. So actually, as we mentioned in the pitch deck, we actually implement JWT authentication whenever we are actually sending the request to store the data and also retrieving the data from the database. And actually, we indirectly has implemented the second layer of security, which is actually when we are converting the text to embeddings, means that the data are stored in the embeddings form in the vector database, means that it has indirectly implemented the hashing algorithm into it because the data has already been stored in embeddings, and only the model can know what the embedding means, and we human, we actually can't know the actual meaning of the. Yeah, so I believe that actually addresses the security part of our solution. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Open Source. What a wonderful by Team Open Source. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, we would like to request Team XJ to come on the stage. Please welcome. You may start whenever you are ready.
All right. Imagine a world where quick action leads to quick recovery, where knowledge empowers, and where technology bridges the gap between the first responder and the life-saving solution. Quick Cure is more than just a platform. It's a revolution in how we are going to achieve SDG 3. Good afternoon to the honorable judges, sponsors, committees, and fellow competitors. Allow me to introduce our team. I'm Lam Yit Wern, and she's Fei Li Mei Xuan, Pan Jin Hui, and Law Mei Jun. Today, our motto is Quick Life, saving one life at a time, because every second counts. Now, I would like to walk you through our executive summary, which we have identified two challenges, which is prolonged ambulance response time and inadequate public education on first aid knowledge. So it boils down to the question, how can we address these two challenges within a digital solution to achieve SDG 3? This is when our strategy comes to life, where we are creating an intelligent safety platform that emphasizes both quicker ambulance response and first aid guidance. With that, it will impact faster ambulance response time and empower individuals, which will help in SDG 3. Sorry. To further strengthen my challenge that I've said just now, there's a research by University Science Malaysia that says the mean time for call duration between the first responder and the public is around 2.11 minutes. Meanwhile, the mean for ambulance response time, which is from the calling to the arrival of the ambulance, is 14 minutes, which is very far from the national standard, which is 8 minutes. And for a unit of increase in call duration, there's a 67% of higher probability to experience delayed response time. With our quick cure, we can reduce the calling time, hence reducing the ambulance response time. And another problem is that we have inadequate public education on first aid knowledge. This is a study by IIUM on the first aid knowledge among undergraduates, where there are 55% of them only has little knowledge, and 44% of them had moderate knowledge, and only 1% have high knowledge. Can you imagine how many more people out there that has high knowledge? I don't think there's a lot, right? So, introducing Quick Cure, an intelligent safety platform where our vision is to empower citizens to act with knowledge of emergencies, and our mission is to revolutionize emergency response and bridge the gap between first responder and the public. We have 3 key features, which is the first one being local support, where the users can click the send help button, and then it will have notification on the real-time tracking. Next one, users can also upload their current condition to allow the quick identification in covering common injuries or emergencies. And the last one, we have first aid tips readily available on the platform, which is also certified by professionals. Next is the demo video.
Let's dive into the demo and explore the key features that make quick healthcare landscape. For example, Emily had an incident where she came in contact with fire and burned her skin while cooking. Panicking, she decided to seek immediate assistance. Emily quickly navigates to Quickcare Send Help page, where she is already a registered member and logged into her account. Her information is already pre-filled. This ensures a seamless user experience. Then, she keys in her current condition and then uploads a picture of her injury for a more accurate analysis. With the power of Vision AI algorithm, the system quickly identifies it as a minor burn. Then, a notification pops up on the screen. This reassures her that it's a minor burn. The system directs her to a set of step-by-step procedures for treating minor burns at home. This provides clear instruction and visual without the need of an ambulance. Another example where quick cure can help save lives is imagine Emily is in a public place where she witnessed someone having a seizure. Recognizing the severity of the situation, she knows immediate help is needed. Emily quickly opens up quick cure and selects the send help feature. The computer vision and natural language processing recognizes the seriousness of the situation and activates the send help feature for an ambulance. Google Maps integration is activated to track Emily's location, as well as providing Emily with real-time information on the ambulance's location and estimated time of arrival. Upon the ambulance's arrival, this message will appear on her screen stating that the ambulance has arrived. Let's dive into another situation where quick cure can be used. Let's say Emily accidentally cuts herself with a knife while preparing a meal and realizes that she needs to attend it immediately. Emily surfs the web and is bombarded with a variety of procedures, which left her in a state of confusion. She then opens Quick Cure's website, where she noticed that each procedure is authenticated by a qualified doctor. On the main page, Emily is greeted with 2 choices: either to search for the procedure or to click on the upload picture feature. Emily chooses to upload a picture as she does not know the term to describe her injury. She proceeds to upload her injury picture. The Vision AI algorithm analyzes the uploaded picture, assessing the severity of the knife cut. Emily then clicks on the recommended procedure. The procedures include detailed instruction with visuals, guiding Emily on cleaning, disinfecting, and properly dressing the knife cut.
Now, moving on to the Google technology that we use, we actually utilize two, which is Google Maps platform as well as Vision AI. We leverage Google Maps platform to enhance our send help features as it provides rapid assistance in emergency. This enables them to track automatically and to transmit the user's current location without needing to type in their address, which then comes to the second point, which is the seamless geolocation integration. Behind the scenes, we've integrated the powerful Vision AI API into our system. Now, what does this mean?
This means that our Send Help features doesn't only rely on words. It sees injuries with precision and effectiveness using the advanced image processing that is provided by the Vision AI. Not only that, it also aids in decision making as it helps us to determine the severity of the issues, the injuries, without needing an ambulance. As we look ahead, our vision extends far beyond the current capability of our website. Here with us today, we have two exciting future steps that will elevate our website to a greater height. Firstly, we are embarking on a journey to introduce progressive web application, also known as PWAs. This is an approach that will redefine how users interact with our platform. In a real-world situation where connectivity fluctuates, we envision Quick Cure to have accessible health information even in areas with limited or no internet connectivity. Next, in the near future, our platform will introduce a feature where it has an alert system. How exactly does this work? Well, it will send out a notification to alert nearby healthcare professionals when someone is in need and requires assistance. Next. Ladies and gentlemen, as we venture into the future with Quick Cure, our vision extends beyond just providing basic healthcare experiences. Therefore, we plan to expand our solution to reach a larger audience by first integrating code modularization. This is for easy modification and also integration of developers in other countries. This allows developers to add new features as well as to extend the first functionality without having to modify the base code. Next, to achieve this goal of reaching larger audiences, multilingual support is there to make our platform more accessible to anyone, no matter what language you can or you cannot speak. I will then pass the floor.
In a world where business plays an important role in this world, our business model will be from business to government and government to consumers. This is how we're going to attend this, is that we would collaborate with the government and the government would initiate this platform to the consumers or the public. Our product costs includes development and maintenance of software, our data management, partnerships and integrations like licensing fees, and our cybersecurity. Meanwhile, our revenue comes from the government funding, and we are planning to partner with private tech companies, as well as collaborating with healthcare services and the data partnerships as we get the data, and it could be useful for them to do research. And lastly, it comes down to the impact how Quick Cure can help in achieving SDG 3. Firstly, it will reduce the mortality rate where empowered individuals will respond faster and the ambulance will reach faster. Then, we will also have the emergency preparedness among the society and universal health coverage. And lastly, community engagement. And that's all from us. Thank you. Quick Cure, saving one life at a time.
I like the finishing line. It's very nice. But a few questions from me. Why web?
Actually, we have identified why we are using web. Okay, so why we choose web instead of an app is because of the 4 reasons. So the first one is the accessibility. It's because like websites are accessible through the web browsers, making them available through web across different devices and platforms without the need of installation. So this broad accessibility can be like advantageous, especially when users may not want to download an app. So the second one is because of the link sharing. It's because website can be easily shared through links, enable quick sharing of content and service with others. So apps, on the other hand, typically requires users to direct other to app stores for installations. And so the third one is no storage limitation. So websites do not consume storage space on user's device, and updates, which is the websites are updated instantly for all users as changes are made on the servers.
Are you expecting the user to access the website through their mobile phone or web or laptops?
Mobile phone, and both also can actually.
Yeah, because I think usability-wise, it's not so convenient because you cannot try to find a laptop while you are having some injuries and all, right? So the most accessible is the mobile phone. But if your mobile phone, you have to type the website name and all. I don't think it's that right. If you guys just an app, I know where to go, and also you can connect to other government services like the hospital and all. I think that will be like all in one. That will be a much better one, in my opinion. So I also don't see the connectivity between the ambulance call with your website. I don't know how you're getting the call and how you're connecting to it. So I think there's a missing link there, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So basically, we are actually collaborating with our government agencies to integrate our ambulance dispatch and tracking system with their existing infrastructure. So in there, we will integrate a real-time monitoring system to track the ambulance availability and status. So in this system, we will actually check the ambulance availability, distance, as well as real-time traffic location conditions, and we will prioritize the assignment of the nearest available ambulance to ensure the quickest response time.
Hi, I like the concept and also how you guys using the progressive web app also can be installed in the phone. That's something interesting. And I want to know, I want to highlight on the UI UX part. In real case scenario, if someone's injured and very serious, I don't have can do multiple steps in the web in order to get the help, right? So if it is something similar, I mean, it's not a very serious injury, then I can do multiple steps for me in order to get the, so look into that area, your UI UX, depending on your persona and what they are going through and what kind of a level of help they need. If it is emergency kind of app, it is need to be triggered in 1 or 2 steps, not more than 2 steps. So look into that. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
I think you need to switch to the mobile app, okay? Because these 4 points are not exactly accurate, so you're probably going in the wrong direction. The best would be to switch to mobile app as soon as possible. Please tell me a little bit about the scalability of the system right now. I can understand you don't have the ambulance system in place right now, but anything technical that you have used for now, is that scalable? As in, can it be applied to anything, any real-time scenario? Can it be expanded? Okay, it's okay. One last question. What is your critical feature? Is it the first aid or calling the ambulance?
Calling the ambulance.
So let's just focus on that, okay? And do it if you guys do it in the mobile app, and if you guys can actually do it in a very scalable fashion, the way you have presented this idea, it would be a really good initiative. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team XG. What a wonderful session by Team XG.
Now that the 6 teams has presented, we will take a lunch break for an hour. So, guys, please remain in your seats as the lunch will be served to you all real quick. And you all may try to mingle around and network with each other.
think all of the teams have had their lunches, and also the judges and the sponsors have had their lunches. So we will continue with the second session of the pitching and presentation session. So now, we would like to request Team Eco Harbor to come up on the stage. Please welcome. Testing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. We are from Team Eco Harbor and presenting our product, ESG Buddy. So what's the problem statement? Malaysia may lose trade worth over 112 billion to European countries if we do not adhere to global ESG standards. But what is ESG? ESG basically is a global framework for evaluating a company's performance and also its societal impact based on some parameters, such as its environmental practices, its social responsibility, and also the way that they govern their company. That's called corporate governance. What's the importance of ESG? The ESG market in the world is currently placed at 1.2 trillion USD. Malaysian government has also announced an IESG framework to tap into this global market. There have been investments in Southeast Asia, and also this framework is contributing to renewable energy as well, which by 2035 would be around 40%. But what's the problem? The problem is that 63% of decision makers, that includes the C-level executives, they feel unprepared to meet these ESG goals. They lack clarity around the regulations, and 27% said that they have a difficulty defining the matrices around this framework. Some specific challenges that are faced by SMEs and MSMEs, the biggest problem is preparing these long ESG compliance reports, which can take weeks. Then they have a difficulty in understanding the sustainability standards because there are more than 100 types of indicators. And also, when they've done all of this, finding key specific areas for improvement is also an issue. And that's where we come in, presenting ESG Buddy. It helps companies generate ESG reports in accordance with globally accepted frameworks. It helps companies provide to see data insights on various ESG parameters that have been fed. And not only this, but we also suggest some top actionable items for the company to take in order to go towards the path of sustainability. And all in all, we also have an AI-powered Q&A assistant which companies can use to chat with the report once it's generated. So what are the possibilities with compliance? Globally, 10% annual growth has been reported by some of the companies who adhered to ESG guidelines, a higher price to book value, and in general, it seems that investors are also more willing to put money into the companies that have a good ESG score. For the core technical architecture of our model, we are using React.js on the front end. For OCR and data visualization, we are using Keras, TensorFlow.js, and Chart.js. Authentication and DB stuff is handled by Firebase, and prompt engineering by Palm2 and ChatPDF. Let's now go to the demo. Sky, can you hold this one? Yeah. All right, bring the mic up. All right, so let me go to the app. All right, so this is the landing page of our website. I've already logged in. So here, what the companies would do is that they would upload whatever documents they have right now. For instance, they have their carbon emission table. This doesn't have to be a PDF, it can be an image as well. So let me just upload that. Okay, upload done. I can also upload a electricity usage document that the company has, because all of this actually contributes to the environmental aspect of the app. So let's say we have the electricity usage as well. And then let's say we are done for this section. For social responsibility, because it's ESG, so now we are asking the companies to upload whatever documents they have for the S part of ESG. They can upload ready-made documents, or if they have specifically made a document for social responsibility, they can upload it as well over here. So for here, I can upload the, let's say, this social report. And we can upload a lot, but in the interest of time, I'm just uploading a few. For the governance one, we can upload the corporate governance report. And by the way, for this demo, we have chosen Al-Ihsan company in Malaysia for the demo. So corporate governance report looks something like this. So it basically highlights how the company is handling internal meetings and everything, promotions and all. So once we uploaded all these documents, we can actually proceed to, next over here. All right, so now the ESG report has actually been generated, but I have cached it so that it becomes faster for the demo. Now we can request the ESG report from the backend. All right, so here the report has been generated, and first up, we are showing to the business owners where their company is lacking. So the hyphens here you see is that we didn't find it from the documents that they uploaded. So they can actually go back now and re-upload, or if they just have these many documents right now, they can go ahead and just download the report. So this is the ESG report which we have generated in a matter of a few minutes compared to the weeks that it would have otherwise taken. So as you can see, it has predominantly the important aspects, the introduction, overview, the purpose. I know it doesn't look nice at the moment, but we can always improve that later. So key achievements, basically everything which should be there in an ESG report. We have the environmental initiatives. And once this report has been generated, let's say the company wants to interact with it or understand it better. So they can even ask questions to the same report. For instance, in the question section, I can ask something like, can we be net zero carbon by 2030? So once this is asked to the model, it'll take some time to answer the question. All right, so it says, couldn't find any information whether Al-Ihsan has set a goal, because apparently they have not. And similarly, we can ask other questions as well to the same report in order to understand it better. And then for the visualization part, we have the insights. We're using chart.js for this. So basically, it will be a visualization of whatever data that they've uploaded and we have put in the document. So you can see something like an ESG score of the company. We have some predictions for net zero, CO2 emissions, basically a visualization of the important aspects of how the company is doing. Finally, we have the actionable report for them. So for instance, in this one, we found that they are lacking in the solar energy process. So we are basically giving them top 3 actionable items for the company to improve their compliance with ESG. So you can see the model has said that you need to invest in solar energy panels, then the diverse recruitment targets, because the documents that we uploaded, the model seems to conclude that there's not a lot of diversity in the recruitment, so that's an actionable item for them. And then there is a quarterly review of the suppliers for Al-Ihsan. And down here below in the table also, we are trying to show them some actionable items. So we believe that by doing all of this, it would speed up the ESG reporting process for the companies, help them save money, and in general, make this country and this world a better place to live in. Thank you.
The judges, you may start the Q&A session whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll go first. Is Al-Ihsan an SME?
Obviously not. It's not an SME, but just to get the data, we chose it.
Because you've talked at length about the challenges faced by SMEs. So I just wanted to tell you, in Malaysia, it's not required for SMEs to present ESG reports. It's mainly for corporates and public listed companies. So Following which standards do you come up with that report?
Yes, so basically UN has given some guidelines, and basically every country right now is trying to come up with its own framework for ESG reporting. So Singapore has already done it, and once Malaysia comes up with its own, probably by the middle of this year, we would then switch to that framework and then train it on that framework, compare it to that framework.
But there are some global frameworks. So a lot of the ESG reporting is coming from the global frameworks, right? TCFD, IFRS. Is there a specific format at the present that you're following?
Right now, as you said, it's kind of distributed, but right now we're just following one format, which my team prepared. So it has, for instance, an introduction. We manually actually compared some of the formats, and whatever we found best, we actually trained it on that one.
Okay, and then please walk us through what goes on behind the scene. For example, when I upload some of the reporting, what does the software do behind the scenes?
Yeah, exactly. Good question. So basically what happens is whenever you upload a document, so if it's a text formatted document, say for instance a PDF, then we directly take the data from it. If it's a text document, we directly take the data from it. But if it's a table, for instance, then what we use is we use OCR to take data from the table. We convert the data in the rows and the columns, and we take that. If it's an image, again, we do the OCR part of it, and then we extract data from it. And once we get all the data in an unformatted, it's for instance, let's say one big file, but the data is totally unformatted. Then what we do is we do prompt engineering on it, and we put input into a model and say, make an introduction make an introductory paragraph about the information that I've supplied you. So it basically, from the framework, it makes the introduction. And then we ask it to make the environmental aspect, then the social aspect based on the data that it has got from the OCR.
So is there any data analysis there? I know there is prompt engineering, but let's take an example. For example, for carbon footprint, CO2 emission, or for social responsibility, employee engagement inside a company. Is there any data analysis? Because I saw the insights had some charts. So how do you come up with those charts?
So basically, there is no data analysis part from OCR to text. But once the the report is generated, then from there we try to extract some data and put it into data structures, for instance, an array. And then we use chart.js to make a graph out of that array. Yep. So that's how we do the insights part.
How do you scale this up?
For scaling, we're primarily targeting MSMEs right now, and also the bigger companies, since we'll get the data easily. And for scaling up, we don't really think that this needs a lot of investment. It's just that we need to pay for the AI model that we're using. So we just need to pay for more prompts, and that's predominantly our cost. So scaling, I think, would not be an issue with it.
One more question is on the OCR you previously mentioned, right? Which OCR engine are you using?
Right now we're using Keras for OCR, and we're integrating it with TensorFlow.js as well, and basically trying to experiment right now which one works the best. So we have tried a few, not finalized yet which one we are going to stick to in the long term.
Maybe just one more. It's just English, right? Do you have plan for what about Malay document? Have you tried?
Yes, definitely. We do plan it for Malay. Actually, we already have Malay capabilities. If I can ask Sky to put, okay, where is it? Report part. Okay, can you ask something in Malay during this? Because just ask anything in Malay, so that we see if it's able to answer in Malay. Literally anything.
Maybe the same question just now in English, you asked in Malay.
I asked, would we be net zero carbon by 2030? Just ask it in Malay.
While waiting for that, right? The other.
Yeah.
You can,
someone can help the translation. Bro, come on. just even if you don't, yeah, yes, okay.
The other question is, this one is on chat, right? The other question I'm thinking is more on the document parsing. It's English document, right? Have you tried any Malay document? Because I think a lot of SME Malaysia will be using Malay language document.
Yes, of course, that is something that we plan to do. But right now, since the global framework is in English, so it's kind of a requirement right now to stick to it. And then once we are confident with the English part, we can switch to Malay very easily. Yeah, just, okay, my teammate has finally written something in Malay. And let's see if the model is able to answer it. So, no, it looks like it does understand the question. It does understand the question, but it cannot answer in Malay right now. So, I mean, you can still ask questions in Malay. But yeah, that is definitely our future plan to at least support the Malay language.
Okay, I think just one last question from me. The logic part, I think you already explained how it works in behind. And upload the document, because in the ESG, we have like 17 items, and every single of it is different requirement to fulfill in order to see whether you are fulfilled the requirement, right? So of course there will be a framework into it, right? And once you recommended what are the action to be taken, and is my suggestion to have a extra module for them to keep track. So
Yes.
yeah, whether they are already done, execute, the timeline, the framework and everything on. So it's better to have that as well, so that you can cover end to end. Yeah,
Sure,
thank you.
One last question. When I upload all the files into the system, how long does it take to come up with the report on average?
If you don't ask for any modifications, if you just directly upload everything and you're satisfied with the final one, so generally it would take like 10 to 15 minutes
For text reports?
Basically, from the OCR conversion to report generation, it would take like 10 to 15 minutes. Because we are not concurrently processing all OCRs, we do it step by step.
Okay, thank you.
And by the way, it can speak Malay apparently, a little bit. So, yeah, all right.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Alright, unfortunately, we have reached the end for our Q&A session. What a wonderful session by WhatsApp Wizard. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
Now, we would like to request the next group, WhatsApp Wizard, to come onto the stage. Please welcome.
Test. How to count the time start? So once I start, the time starts. Yes, once you start. Hi everyone, we are Team WhatsApp Wizard, and we are here to present our AI-driven home energy management systems. So, let me ask some questions before I start. Does anyone face the same problem as me, having a high electrical bill? As a university student, I was struggling on the high energy bill, where I don't even know which device is causing the much, as all I get is just an electrical bill from TNB. Also, sometimes when we want to know controlling the electrical device, like from Samsung's, Hitachi's, we don't even have integrated apps. Like they all have their own apps. So it's very hard to control all in the time. And for our research, we found out that Malaysia is actually producing 7.7 kg of carbon dioxide daily. So sounds minus. What if I tell you that you need 130 trees to actually offset all of it? So carbon dioxide is actually from energy generating, and that's why
renewable energy is taking a part. But we found that based on 2021, we only have 0.9% of electrical is generating from the renewable energy. And that's why we are here to propose our apps, Green Peak, to tackle all of these problems.
So what is Green Peak? Green Peak is a home energy management system with AI-driven energy optimization. So tackling just now the problem, he said that it doesn't know which of the IoT device is costing that much energy. With Green Peak, I can easily view all of the energy usage for all of the IoT device. In contrast to the TNB bill that we received, that doesn't tell you anything much. And beside that one, forecast of the energy usage will also be able to will also be visible for me, and the Green Peak will also be able to suggest enhancement to my home device use case. For example, like auto modifying this week IoT schedule, and also auto setting the energy saving level, which these two features we will look into more in detail later. And also, given another scenario, if I am a prosumer having my own solar panel, I can also view my energy generation as well as my energy consumption in the Green Peak. And Green Peak will also be trying to optimize the energy usage of my solar panel. And whenever there's a forecast of high or low sunlight in upcoming few days, Green Peak will try to optimize the solar panel. So if given is a high forecast, then Green Peak will try to use more of the solar panel battery, and oppositely, if it is a low forecast, then Green Peak will try to store more of the energy in the solar panel just in case for emergency. And so going to the environmental impact, how can I contribute to the environment surrounding me? So the first one, after use, so with each day using the Green Peak AI energy optimization, Green Peak will be able to reduce how much energy, how much CO2 I have been able to reduce. So after that, so this will try to encourage and raise awareness deep inside me to try to save energy as I'm seeing my little tree slowly growing to 100%. And so what happened after growing to 100%? And we calculate that on average, it takes about 10 days to save the energy using the AI-driven optimization to save enough carbon dioxide emission up to equally to 1 tree. So after I have reduced enough CO2 for 1 tree, I can reward with 3 options. If I happen to be an environmentalist, I can have the option of planting a tree in the real world as Green Peak partnered with environment NGO. And for the second, if I am trying to become a prosumer, Green Peak will encourage me to with a discount on buying solar panel. And for last option of RM5 discount on electricity bill will only be available for prosumer and is partnered with DNB. So if I'm trying to understand any of the information or about energy generally, I can just take a look in the Energy Knowledge Forum. Now going on to the convenience and safety, but first I will be using this Arduino to be simulating the environment in our house, that normal home application. So the first one is just, by the way, Green Peak have a virtual assistant chatbot. We call it as Zappy. So let's say, Zappy, can you turn on the light in living room? Okay. By the way, technical issue. By the way, if I were to just ask the Green Peak to open up switch on the light at the living room, it will be able to control it. And for the second one, I can ask it to schedule my fan at living room to turn on from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Like that one, it's just a automatic schedule. So for the third one, if I just ask it to schedule all my IoT device in living room for today, just as usual. Just like this one is like a normal schedule of all the IoT device. So Green Peak will automatically learn from